Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Poonam Dua from Emend Education Academy of Literature, and today we are going to cover a very important topic, Decolonizing the Mind by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, a Kenyan writer. It is an important topic for Delhi University as well as for IGNOU. You can see the subjects written over here. तो टॉपिक का नाम ही है डीकॉलोनाइजिंग द माइंड, तो बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि हम इस टर्म को समझें पहले, डीकॉलोनाइजेशन। तो नेचुरली अगर डीकॉलोनाइजेशन को समझना है तो पहले कॉलोनाइजेशन को समझना पड़ेगा। सो इन ऑर्डर टू टॉक ऑफ डीकॉलोनाइजेशन वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कॉलोनाइजेशन फर्स्ट। We all know that colonization is the process of converting a country other than your own specifically, into a producer of raw material for your industry and a market for your फिनिश गुड्स। तो इमेजिन इंडिया के साथ ब्रिटिशर्स ने क्या किया था, यहाँ के रिसोर्सेज को यूज़ किया था और यहाँ के लोगों को अपनी प्रोडक्ट्स की मार्केट बनने के लिए यूज़ किया था। तो दिस इज़ व्हाट वी कॉल डीकॉलोनाइजेशन, की एक कंट्री के रिसोर्सेज को पूरी तरीके से अपने फ़ायदे के लिए ड्रेन आउट कर देना। So colonization involves the twin process of destroying or marginalizing local economies and other administrative and political structures and the erection of new ones that facilitate the colonizers' goals. Decolonization then becomes the opposite process of colonization, that is dismantling the colonial structure once the imperial powers leave. बेसिकली हम डीकॉलोनाइज इन फिज़िकल टर्म्स तो हमेशा कर देते हैं। सारी कंट्रीज़ इंडिपेंडेंट हैं आज की डेट में, हर कंट्री से कॉलोनाइजर्स जा चुके हैं। बट क्या हम अपने दिमाग को डीकॉलोनाइज कर पाते हैं? क्या हम अपने आप को फ्री कर पाते हैं उन सारी चीज़ों से, उन सारी मे बी यू कैन से एनीथिंग पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव, वो सारी एट्रोसिटीज़ या वो सारी चीज़ें जो हमने उनसे सीखी, क्या उनसे अपने आप को आज़ाद करवा पाते हैं? एक्चुअली उन सब से अपने आप को आज़ाद कर पाना इज़ दी डीकॉलोनाइजेशन ऑफ माइंड। आज हम डीकॉलोनाइजेशन के कंटेक्स्ट में बात कर रहे हैं गुगी वा थियोंगो की, जो कि एक केनियन राइटर और अकेडमिक हैं एंड हु राइट्स प्राइमरीली इन हिज ओन लैंग्वेज गिक्यूयू। His work includes many novels, many famous plays, short stories, essays, and it ranges from literary and social criticism to even children's literature. He was born on 5th January 1938 and currently he is around 82. बात करते हैं उनके एक ऐसे की, डीकॉलोनाइजिंग द माइंड द पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ लैंग्वेज इन अफ्रीकन लिटरेचर, विच वॉज पब्लिश्ड इन 1986 by the Kenyan novelist and post-colonial theorist Ngugi wa Thiong'o. It is a collection of essays about language and its constructive role in national culture, history and identity. एक language का एक country की identity में क्या role होता है, basically this essay specifies that. Decolonizing the Mind, The Politics of Language in African Literature is a non-fiction work by award-winning Kenyan writer Ngugi wa Thiong'o, which was originally published in 1986. Please try to be very good with dates. I'm telling the exact words of Ngugi. He describes the book as a summary of some of the issues in which I have been passionately involved for the last 20 years of my practice in fiction, theatre, criticism, and in teaching of literature. In this collection of 4 essays, author actually wants to address what is commonly called the language question, whether Africans should study and write in European languages instead of their native tongue, or in particular their own language. In particular, this collection of essays addresses why the author has chosen to no longer write in English and instead he writes now in Gikuyu and his language Swahili. This essay is divided into 4 parts: the language of African literature, the language of African theatre, the language of African fiction, the quest for relevance. सबसे पहले और सबसे ज़्यादा बात करेंगे द लैंग्वेज ऑफ अफ्रीकन लिटरेचर के बारे में, बिकॉज दिस इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑफ all of the 4 essays. The language of African literature actually deals with the relationship by returning to the colonial history by which English was substituted for indigenous Kenyan languages. तो देखा जा रहा है कि शुरुआत में ऐसा आखिर हुआ क्या कि इंग्लिश ने सब्सिट्यूट कर दिया लोकल लैंग्वेजेस को, एंड पर्टिकुलरली विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लिटरेचर सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट पड़ा लिटरेचर पे, जो कि इसका टाइटल है इस एसे का. So the language actually is not just a language, it carries itself a whole world of references and values that are specific to the culture from which it originates. किसी भी चीज़ को आप अपनी लोकल लैंग्वेजेस में, स्पेसिफिकली द लोकल स्टोरीज़, द फॉक स्टोरीज़, उसको अगर आप अपनी लोकल लैंग्वेज में पढ़ते सुनते हो तो उसका इम्पैक्ट, स्पेसिफिकली द कल्चरल इम्पैक्ट ज़्यादा पड़ता है रादर देन इफ़ यू स्टडी द सेम थिंग इन सम foreign language. And it is for this reason that Googie will argue for the revival of literature written in indigenous African language, since the literature of Europe is inseparable from the racist images and stereotypes that perpetuate the false ideologies of European superiority over the African continent as a whole. तो यूरोपियन लिटरेचर ने जब अपने आप को लोकल लिटरेचर के साथ रिप्लेस किया तो इट वाज नॉट जस्ट द रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ लैंग्वेज, इट वाज द रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ कल्चर एज वेल. So Googie basically discusses his early childhood as well and childhood experience of language education. He contrasts his village lessons via stories in his native tongue Gikuyu, wherein the language was magical. Obviously, the own language, the mother tongue, is always magical and powerful and musical. Then he speaks of school wherein he was forced to learn English. He basically wants to say that English has always been imposed by colonizers. So he shows how the local people carried on with the indigenous African language and how abnormal it is to believe that Africans cannot do without European languages, and how he himself switched to writing in his mother tongue of Gikuyu after 17 years writing in European tradition. He makes a call to African writers to begin writing literature in their own language so that they can preserve their culture, and to make sure that literature is connected to their people's revolutionary struggles for liberation, specifically the liberation of their minds from colonization. Now we will discuss in brief about rest of the three chapters: the language of African theatre, the language of African fiction, and the quest for relevance. The language of African theatre. First, Googie shows how the colonial history has seen in previous chapter had a direct effect on the role that theatre played in Kenya. In the language of African fiction, he reflects on the relationship between the writer and Kenyan society that is now defined by the post-colonial era. The quest for relevance, Googie brings these preceding analyses to bear on his own experience as a professor in Kenya. He deals with the institutional debate regarding his department's attempts to center the curriculum around African languages and those works of literature that place a focus on the live experience of African people. As a conclusion, we can say that on the one hand, imperialism controls the economy, politics, and culture of Africa or maybe any country they colonize, and thus try to dominate the language too. On the other hand, the people have continuously struggled to maintain their originality, to continue their self-definition in time and space. Googie argues that the choice and use of language is central to a community's ability to define itself and to maintain a dignity. In short, he wants to show the relationship between human experience, human culture, and human perception of reality, and thus language becomes the means of communication and a carrier of culture, be it any country. So Googie also adds that communication is also the basis and process of evolving culture. I hope the video is helpful for you. Please do call us to join our online or offline classes. Thanks a lot for watching and best of luck for your exams.